Hello. How are you? Fran Whitaker of the Happy Journals PLR Club here. If you know me well, you'll know I'm obsessed with SEO. I am by no means an expert. But I do believe, for many reasons that I won't go into now, that SEO ought to be a priority for business owners. Certainly, over social media. You may also know, I'm a little obsessed with AppSumo right now. I have found some awesome deals on there over the past few months. Deals for tools that slide into my business nicely and give me the opportunity to either speed up, grow, or improve what I'm doing. I do love me a really good lifetime deal. Although, I will say, you may not need everything I recommend. Deciding that is up to you, I'm afraid. This video was going to be a tool review. I will still show you a new tool that I've been using. But mostly, I'll be teaching you some very quick, but useful, non-scary, aspects of SEO. After this, I will be showing you a tool called Frase. It is an AI-based, SEO optimization tool for your written web content. Yes, even PLR content. This tool is super helpful for outlining your content, as well as optimizing your new and existing content for SEO. But, as I said, I first want to explain a few things to you, which will be helpful if you're brand new to SEO. That way, even if this tool is not for you, you might have learned something new. Firstly, when we think of search engines, the first thing we think of is Google. Or maybe Bing, if you're that way inclined. But, if we really thought about all the places we typed a search term into, it may well dawn on us that we use a lot more search engines than we first thought. Such as YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Etsy, even your own website. Are they search engines? Yes. Think about your time on Amazon, looking for the perfect washi tape storage solution. Guess what I've been looking for recently? Or on Instagram looking for positive quotes to motivate us. Or on image sites, looking for the perfect multicolored rose. All of these things are search terms, or keywords. And the places we type these into are search engines. So, if you want to be found online, you need to treat every website like a search engine. Secondly, the number of voice searches is going through the roof and is unlikely to die out. By this I mean Siri or Alexa, plus a huge amount of other tools that are used for voice search. This is more important than you might think, because people say their searches in very different ways than when they are typing. For example, on Google, if you wanted to go out for dinner, you might simply type something like, restaurants Cambridge. Whereas, if you were using voice search, you are more likely to say, Alexa, what is the best restaurant in Cambridge, near the river? Do you see the difference? So, question and answer content is becoming increasingly important. Finally, not too long ago, if you had written content on the web, Google would search it. And if you had used the same keyword in multiple places, it would decide you must be talking about that keyword, and rank you accordingly. This is why people used to do silly things like stuff a keyword into an article as many times as possible, in the hopes they might make it to number 1. But this meant articles were often written for Google, and not the people reading it. This is the perfect way to put your audience off. So, Google is changing. Now, when the Google spiders come out to play, they are not just looking for specific keywords. They are looking to see that the rest of your content matches that keyword. So, if you decide you want to rank for a keyword like, say, lemon cheesecake, but the vast majority of your content is basically a review and sales pitch for the mixer you're using, it doesn't matter how much you write, lemon cheesecake, the content doesn't match the intent. So, you're unlikely to rank high. Instead, Google is using what is known as keyword clustering to work out what your content is about. For example, if I wrote an article about mindset in business, and wanted to get on the first page of Google, I know that the spiders will also be looking for keywords such as business mindset, business success, positive mindset, success habits, business daily habits, and entrepreneurial success. And the list goes on, depending on how deep you want to go. The tool that I am about to show you, Frase, is one that I literally cannot stop using. And it covers two of the things that I just told you about perfectly. That is, question and answer content and keyword clustering. If you use written PLR, this tool is even more exciting. because it will help you make your content unique very easily. There are other similar tools to this, like ClearScope or Market Muse, but they are ridiculously expensive. I've used Market Muse, and love it, but I definitely would not pay $499 a month. There are two aspects of Frase. I'm only going to focus on one in this video, because of what I believe you would use this for. The aspect I am not going to dig into, basically, allows you to add an AI chatbot to your website, which uses your existing website content to answer questions instantly. So, if someone asks you a question on your site, the bot will find the answer from your site and gives it to them. This is cool, but, with the app Sumo deal, you only get 100 answers per month. After which, you have to pay extra. This is why I don't think this is the main reason you'd use Frase. But you might. Anyway, as I say, Frase is the perfect way for me to demonstrate some of the things I was just talking about, related to SEO. So, let me show you. Okay, let's say you want to write some kind of article or blog post about writing in journals. You've got journals in your store, so this would be a perfect way to get people to your website. In Frase, you would enter a term, like writing journals, in this box here within the Question Ideas tab of the Content section. When you hit Return, Frase will search the web, Google, Quora, Bing and others, for any questions related to your keyword. It's pretty fast too. So, here, you can see that we have 44 content ideas based on real questions people ask. Some of them may not be relevant as they might be about academic journals. But with 44 ideas, there is a good chance we have something we'll want to create. Let's have a look. A quick look through, and I've seen tons of ideas. The titles are questions people ask or search for. They want the answer, so why not give it to them? Why don't we choose a good one? Let's go for, what are the benefits of writing in a journal or diary? This is a really meaty topic. Tons of people search for things like this and it wouldn't be too difficult to write a pretty comprehensive article on it. Plus, there is tons of PLR out there on this topic. So, we'll click on Start Document. We'll choose to create a new document and use the top Google results. But I'll show you how you can optimize existing content in a minute. Right now, you can see Frase is pulling in data from all sorts of different websites. You'll see why in a sec. Okay, so we have our title, which is currently the question we chose. You can change this, but this is likely to be the kind of thing people might search for, either by typing it into Google, or as a voice search. Like, Alexa, what are the benefits of writing in a journal or diary? See, it is a natural question you might say out loud. If you keep this as your title, people instantly get a fair idea of what you've written about. But you also need to consider any keywords you are trying to rank for, as these ought to be in your title too. So, if you want to be found for the benefits of journaling, you might change the title to, What are the benefits of journaling? Or maybe 15 benefits of journaling. It's up to you. The keyword clustering aspects are likely to be very similar. Just don't change this title to something like, The best lemon cheesecake recipe. That needs to be a totally new search. Right. Are you ready for magic to happen? The first thing you can do is set up a content brief. So, if you just wanted some ideas of what to write, some quotes, stats, sites to link to, you have all that here on the first tab of the right-hand pane. It gives you tons of information, including average word count of the content currently ranking in the top 20 on Google for this question. If this is all you want, you can click on the Paste Brief button, and it will paste all that info into your document. You can then export this, and you can take it away to craft a beautiful article in your own time. Or you can give it to someone else, like a VA, to do it for you. That's the first thing you can do. Let's look at the other tabs. Next you have summaries of other related articles. It shows you how they structured their articles, and what topics they covered. If you were writing your article here, you could go into this tab. Find something to back up your argument. Like this, and click on it to insert it. Always make it clear that it is a quote. And always link to the post it came from. Google loves it when you link to other, good, sites. Because it proves that you want to be as helpful as possible to your audience. I'll come back to the Topics tab. The Question tab gives you a whole range of other related questions. You might like to make a note of these and write an article for each one. Then link them all together. Doing this would make you look like a true expert and keep people on your site for longer. The Link tabs gives you a list of related links. You probably wouldn't use all of these. But using some makes you look like you've done your homework. Then the News tab gives you a list of related news stories. For each of these, you can click the Summarize button. This then gives you even more quotes that you can insert into your work. Let me briefly explain how you can use existing content before moving on to the Topics tab. If you have written PLR, or anything you've written, you can paste that into here really easily. You simply copy it from wherever it is, then paste it in. Once you paste it in, you can optimize it. With all this data, you no longer need to manually search for. So, very soon, your PLR will definitely not look like PLR for long. Or, if you already have an article on your website, you can click this Optimize button here. Enter the URL. Click on Process. And Frase will pull all the text in. You then click Confirm Import. And your content will be in here, ready to optimize. Okay, finally, into the Topic tab. Remember keyword clustering from earlier? Well, this tab will get you as close to knowing what Google wants for this as you're going to get. It gives you a long list of keywords or topics that other people mention in articles on this topic. It tells you how many times they are mentioned and how many articles include them. The higher up the list they are, the more commonly used they are. Your job is to make better content than your competitors. So, the more you mention these, within reason, the higher your score. In theory, the higher your score, the more likely you are to rank higher on Google. I say within reason, because if your article is only 300 words, and you mention something 23 times, the content ratio will be off. Which is the same as keyword stuffing. So, you can see that the short bit of text I entered mentioned journal 11 times. It is short though, so if I added it 23 times, and added more content, this would turn green. Because I'd have matched my competitors. Do not force it though. If you can't get a word in, don't worry. It's not necessary to include everything here. But the great thing here is that you can click each keyword, and get even more quotes you can include. As you create your content, you can rerun your topic score as a way of measuring your optimization efforts. So, you see, Frase is an amazing tool that really helps you write the content your target audience wants to read without having to do endless amounts of research. I won't lie to you. There is a bit more to SEO and ranking on Google than this. But it definitely isn't as hard as people think. And a tool like Frase makes it so much easier. If you want to be found online, my number one tip, above everything, is create content and work on your SEO. Frase is currently offering a lifetime deal on AppSumo. For me, once I realized what it did, this was a no-brainer. You can stack up to 2 codes for this deal. One code is $69 but it limits you to 30 documents a month. I don't like being limited so I bought 2 codes for $138. With 2, you get unlimited use and access to all the features. I know that this only has a few days left on AppSumo. But, in all honesty, I would recommend this tool even if it wasn't on AppSumo. I love it that much. The link for this tool is in the description below. Once the deal ends, this will turn into the normal Frase purchase link. Full disclosure. These links are affiliate links so I will earn a bit of commission if you buy via my links. But if I don't like something, I don't promote it. Simples. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something useful in this video. There is plenty more where this came from. So, if you want more of this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, stay well, take care and keep smiling.